The first sound that reached me after the implants were activated wasn't my own voice. It wasn't my son's laughter, nor the hum of a world I had long been locked away from for 6 bitter years. No, the first sound I truly heard was hers, my wife, in the kitchen on the phone, speaking as if I weren't in the house at all. "God, it's so much easier now," she said, laughing lightly. He just nods, smiles, no arguments, no expectations. It's like being married to a piece of furniture. Laughter followed, not hers alone. Others joined in, her sisters maybe, and another voice I couldn't place. A friend. Someone close enough to laugh at my expense. I didn't move. I stood rooted in the hallway, staring blankly at the wallpaper I always hated, the one she chose. I listened. That was all I did, because they never believe you're there when you're quiet. And I had been quiet long enough for them to forget I still existed. Her voice dropped, hushed but not enough. "Sometimes," she murmured, "I think about what it'd be like if he never came back from a hospital. I had dreams, before he went all broken." My fingers curled into fists. She didn't hear it. Of course she didn't. I had become background noise, harmless, silent. They all thought I was gone. And maybe I had been, until now. But the return of my hearing didn't resurrect the man she once loved. No, what it brought back was a version of me I was before her, measured, observant, quietly deliberate, a man who knew when to keep still and when to start listening. I didn't react. I didn't flinch. For 3 weeks I played along, pretending nothing had changed. I nodded when expected, smiled at the right times, and let them continue performance. Her book club meetings. The late-night messages she never shared but grinned at in the dark. The frequent calls from Sandra, always taken outside. I started watching her. Not openly. Strategically. I already had the tools. My years in IT hadn't gone to waste. I installed silent tracking software on her phone, programs she'd never notice. I cloned her SIM, downloaded her entire message history. Every call, every whisper sent into the night. I read through them in silence, methodical and cold. Sandra was a lie. There was no Sandra. There was a Martin, a man from her office. I had shaken his hand once at a party. He looked through me like I was a formality, a ghost. Their messages weren't just intimate. They were devastating, clinical, efficient, razor-sharp incisions through what remained of our marriage. One line stayed with me longer than I expected. "Sometimes I wish he'd just die quietly in his sleep." I didn't throw the phone. I didn't scream. I didn't break down. I read that sentence twice. Then I breathed, deep, long, and quiet. I archived everything. Not out of rage. Not even sadness. Just a stillness that settled inside me like frost. I sent away a toothbrush, our son's, to a private lab. Paid in cash, kept it discreet. I already knew what the results would say. I just needed confirmation. I watched the 3 of them laughing together. My daughter, my son, my wife. And I smiled back. But something was shifting inside me. Not pain. Not grief. Gears. Cold, deliberate gears. The envelope came on a Tuesday. Brown, clinical, sealed with indifference. I waited until the house emptied, until school and work took them all away. Then I sat alone at the kitchen table, the same table where I'd first heard her voice again, and opened it. Probability of paternity, 0.000%. I read the result 3 times. Not because I doubted it, because I didn't. And strangely, it didn't hurt. It should have. But the part of me that could break had long been hollowed out. So I made tea, sat with the knowledge like it was any other Tuesday. That night, I placed the envelope on her pillow. Just that. No note, no explanation. I didn't need to explain. She found it around 9:30. I was downstairs watching her favorite show. She walked in pale and trembling, her voice barely a breath. "What is this?" I turned to her and held her gaze for a long, silent moment. Then I raised my hands and signed, slowly, precisely. I heard everything. She shattered, not all at once, but like porcelain under heat, cracking fast and deep. It was years ago. I thought you weren't even you anymore. I stood, brushed past her, picked up the remote, and turned off the television. Then I spoke, my voice for the first time in 6 years. Not broken, not angry, cold and sharpened like a blade. I got my hearing back. A month ago. Her mouth opened, but no words came. Just a gasp. I stepped closer, letting the silence draw tight between us. I heard every lie, every wish for my death, every moan you gave him. I let the silence after that settle like dust. Let her sit with it, drown in it. You looked at me like I was furniture. So I became the wall, and from the wall I watched. She reached for me, trembling. I stepped back. No anger, I said. Not anymore. Just consequences. Then I handed her the printed document I had prepared weeks ago. Divorce papers. Signed, sealed, time-stamped. She looked down at them, stunned, the weight of it sinking through her skin. I didn't stay the night. I didn't pack a bag or offer the children an explanation. I walked out with my hearing and with my silence. She tried calling, texting, pleading. I never answered. I let the phone ring, because she no longer had a right to my voice. She forfeited at the moment she spoke of me like I wasn't human. I gave 6 years of my life to silence. She gave those same years to betrayal. Now she can sit in the very silence she once claimed to love, the silence she wished on me. Let it echo through her chest. Let it rot her slowly from the inside. I don't need to hear her anymore. I already know exactly who she is. And that was enough.